Hello, my name is David Goodwin. I am a master's student studying graphic design, and this is my final project. The project is to produce an animated, 2D, video that utilizes and expands upon my existing skills within Adobe Photoshop. The intention is to create an audio-visual experience of a fictional spacecraft in the future traveling between dimensions. I am intrigued by the concept of multiverses and alternative dimensions. Being not of this dimension, they are not necessarily bound by the laws of physics of our reality. This allows greater freedom in what can be shown. This video represents the experience of autism, challenges and advantages. Autism can at times feel alienating when struggling to interact with neurotypicals and others, which is represented by the ship and passengers being alien to these locations. Admittedly, the science fiction concept came before the autism relationship. However, I was able to tie in visual depictions of challenges people with autism, as someone who is autistic myself, face, and skills they possess. Initially, I added title overlays to indicate what portion of the video reflects what issue. Later, I used text screens. Then finally, slightly animated images with text-to-speech voice I used as the sheep's computer voice. I took inspiration from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which used similar sequences in the film adaptation. I used visuals to represent various challenges people with autism face and skills they can possess. For example, higher sensitivity to light, photosensitivity, represented by an environment with too many suns. The challenges with maintaining eye contact, which can affect communication, represented by the interaction with the liquid aliens. Increased pain sensitivity, indicated by a scenario where sharp rocks scrap against the sheep's hull. I used Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator to create images used in this project, After Effects for animations, Premiere Pro for compiling the video, and Media Encoder for rendering out the video. I used Audition for editing audio, and Microsoft Word for planning, and Smaker.com for text-to-speech used for the computer voice. The process would go that I take or source the photos, public domain typically. Then I cut outputs and recombine to make new images. This is a method I used before when making photo art as a hobby. Then I export the components and recombine and animate in After Effects. I then port the After Effects sequences over to Premiere Pro for final editing and adding audio. I sometimes also edit audio further via Audition, such as adding distortion. This is a sped-up screen recording showing how I made the shuttle bay scene background from photos. The shuttle bay makes an appearance near the beginning of the Bright Universe sequence, where the shuttle and ship has to deal with an environment with too much sunlight, representing autistic photosensitivity. Originally, I just had the shuttle appearing from behind the ship, but it was not that clear that the shuttle was emerging from within the ship, hence adding the scene. This is the final scene used in the video.
Alert! Shuttle bay doors opening.
The shuttle model itself is actually a second-hand electric air freshener I bought from a charity shop. The scratches were because I originally intended to paint the model Battleship Grey, and needed to rough up the surface to get it to cling. However, it does also fit the generally worn-out aesthetic of the spacecraft. I also added a transparent drawing pin in the output for a spotlight, and blue-tacked on another piece onto the side for a secondary light. I took photos of the prop against white paper with my LED panel lights, and edited out the background to use in the scenes. This is another accelerated screen recording of how I made the cave exit sequence. This comes after the ship has been damaged by sharp rocks scraping the hull, representing pain sensitivity for autistic people. I used a mixture of cave photography for the craggy cave scene. The rock scraping against the ship sequence, for example, was achieved with a mix of photos of mountains and slate gemstones. Thank you for watching my presentation.